you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
President Walker,
I was just watching a video concerning Operation Secure Line. And there was a lady that was a pastor that was helping other people, and she was placed on a list. She has no ties to terrorism. And it was discovered that once you're on this list, you lose your rights. So federal agencies were following this lady all over the place. They were gang stalking her. And now she's fighting to get her rights back. So when you're a target, you essentially lose your rights as a citizen, because some agency says you're this. They put a label on you. They say you're this, you're that, and then it's like you're screwed, and they follow you around like you're a prisoner. Greetings, fellow targeted individuals. I do not want TIs, also known as targeted individuals, to believe that I'm against Democrats, that there are enemies, because there's many Democrats which are good people. But there are a lot of wicked people which are promoting demonic activities under the guises of social justice, diversity and inclusion. And some of these people are so vocal about how they feel. They clearly let you know that they believe so deeply in what they stand for that they would sacrifice their lives for it. They would sacrifice other people. They would utilize government funds. They would utilize a fusion center. They would utilize a citizens corps. They would utilize Department of State. They would utilize their resources to destroy your life. And many of these people are people which all voted to keep the Secretary of DHS in office. Nearly all the conservatives want him out of office. Why would Democrats want to keep someone which has allowed terrorists to come into our nation by the droves and to cause problems in our cities? So our enemies, they hide behind our flag, utilizing covert action. They hate our Constitution. They hate our laws. They may pretend like they support them, but the truth is the enemy cannot function like it would like to if it supported our constitutional rights and if it acted in accordance to U.S. laws. So they utilize covert action, and guess who their partners are at times? Members of the United States Army. And many of these people don't agree with these activities, but they go along with it at times because the CIA is their partner. And they do go into gas stations. They do go into supermarkets. They do go into stores. They do mob people. I've seen fleets of 30 to 40 and 50 at times. I can share with you guys their tags, where these cars are parked, what they do, proof they're paid by the government. And many members of Congress aren't aware of these activities, and there are some which are highly aware of these activities occurring in many cities discreetly. So they have to rely off police chiefs, county attorneys, and in some states there are state attorneys going along with this, your FBI, which is under Department of Justice, and which works directly with your Central Intelligence Agency on many cases and operations. And they are CIA agents which technically are based in an FBI facility, working with them all the time, devising ways on how they can destroy Americans' lives versus stopping crime and terrorism. They're focused on how they can promote it. So I've documented in my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s harassment by Jewish people. I have videos where you see I'm in line I've driven 80 miles from my house. I'm at a Captain D's in Pensacola, Florida, and I'm just ordering a meal. And there's a guy in a suit and a thin black tie and black shades scanning my body with one of those handheld scanners that you see bouncers use at clubs. I don't even go to clubs no more. I stopped going due to my targeting when I was around 25 years old. So I don't go to clubs. I don't hang out with thugs. I don't hang out with scumbags. Pretty much walk, bike, buy food, and go home. I go to restaurants, go to the beach, go fishing. I don't hang out with a bunch of dudes. I'm not looking for problems. I don't break any laws. So our enemies, what they want to do is they want to keep you in a state where you're traumatized. You know, when you look at people when they're traumatized, you may look at their eyes and how they're really big. Well, these are people which have been demoralized or traumatized to the point where they can't even keep a job. They can't stay focused. And if you're in that situation, I encourage you guys to take lithium orotate. They are TIs which are bashed so much that they can't even buy gas without being harassed. It's that bad here for some targets. Many Americans couldn't even imagine how bad it is. It's so bad that the government has to hire people as civilians to go on social media to discredit us. So the same trash, hold on a second. When I talk about terrorists, it makes me want to spit. The same scumbags that we believe that are here to protect our constitutional rights have been going on the internet trying to discredit us in these activities. So that way people don't believe us. So people which would conceal this activity, in my opinion, are no different than ISIS. I wouldn't give them a drop of piss to sustain them. That's like protecting a repeated child molester or rapist. Why would I want to support them or provide material support to them? I don't support you. I don't respect you. And if you were to see what these agencies have gotten away with, which are doing this gang stalking, you couldn't even imagine. There are stacks. I have stacks at the house. Proof. Members of the CIA messing with kids. People in DHS entrapping people, destroying their lives, and erroneously placing them on lists. The FBI has placed thousands of innocent people in jail. And when they found out thousands were placed in jail illegally, they kept it secret. Some of these people died on death row, and they never committed a crime in their life. So it's easy for people which are in law enforcement, which have never been in trouble, or which are judging people by their past. So yeah, maybe you deserve it. But once you experience it, once you experience being betrayed, being told by police, oh, your matter's civil. Going to your county attorney and say, I'm not going to help you. Going to the FBI, we're not going to help you. Going to the NSA, slamming phones. DHS, slamming phones. Then you start to see who's behind this. See, the key players behind this activity, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what I've documented, are going to be your National Security Agency, your Federal Bureau of Investigations, your Department of Justice, your Department of State, Department of Homeland Security. I believe even our DNI, National Counterterrorism Center. I believe a lot of this, what's occurring in our country, is one big scam, which I refer to as the national security scam and sham. And what they're doing is, they can't find terrorists, so what they're doing is, they're putting people on lists. And let's say you're a Christian, you're critical of what's going on towards Israel, towards Palestinians, or you're critical of kids being taught perversion when they're 6 years old. Well, they can say, now you're anti-Semitic, you're an extremist. They can just slap labels on you. That's not freedom. Because when an agency can target you without due process rights and say you're a terrorist, but if you take them to court, they have no evidence, no ties to terrorism, no girlfriend, no job, you've left your job, you've left school, you've lost your house, you've gotten divorced over this, so who's a terrorist then? So they can't prove anything. Ask these people. If you're in the government, if you're a politician, ask these people to show you one shred of proof. They can't show you none. You know why? They're full of crap.
Hello, fellow TIs. I want to share a few things that I've been using to improve my health.
One of them is reishi mushroom powder. Now check this out. You can put like the size of a dime or even a quarter. You don't even have to put it in the strainer, it dissolves. And you can even fill it up and it'll look like this, kind of like a golden color. So if you're a TI, I encourage you guys to do things to boost your immune system. Because if you're under a state of constant stress and anxiety, well, guess what? It'll impact your health. And my favorite thing to take is this right here, right now. It's been lithium orotate. For a while, it was just green tea. So I've been utilizing that. And every once in a while, I might add a little bit of this to my green tea. Or if I have shiitake mushroom extract, I'll put it in the strainer in the middle. That way, these flakes won't all get in there and get it all nasty and be floating around. So our enemies, they want to keep you in a state where you're constantly stressed out, because what happens when a person is constantly stressed out? Well, their health goes down the drain. Kind of like a plant. You know, if you don't water your plants, you don't take care of your plants, what will happen to your plants? Well, eventually they'll start dying. They may start getting some type of disease or pest which grows on it. And then the plant withers away and dies. So these people, they want you to die. They don't want to kill you. So the reason why they don't kill you is because they know you're not dangerous. If you were dangerous, you'd be dead already.